Somebody's there already. Well, well, this is not my normal time of day to be broadcasting or whatever you call this. Streaming, I guess. Streaming. I call it screaming. Because that's what I do. I scream a lot. So it's not streaming, it's screaming. And I usually do it in the morning when I exercise. But boy, I just had sort of, business kind of stuff and meeting people and everything. Boy, I hate that. I love just helping people find money. And so I wasn't able to do something Saturday. So now I'm back in my apartment and doing it here. And that's sort of nicer anyway. And there's a lot of things happening with Info USA. No, not Info USA. Let's Go Help. See, that was a business I had before, and I just had to write some checks for that old business, Info USA. It was Information USA, and that was my first successful business. Man, I had 2 other businesses that failed, and they went nowhere, and I went bankrupt, and not really bankrupt, but I went broke, and just starting again. That's it, and this finally took off. This was back in the 80s, I guess, something like that, 90s, got even bigger and whatever, and then petered out, and now I had to do this and figure this out. And this took about 10 years to figure out. But now what really motivates me is that people still have no idea about the government programs. Man, I keep reading about things like today in the paper, okay. There's data here from JAMA. This is a medical association, and they predict more than 10 million children lost at least one parent or caregiver during the pandemic. Well, that reminds me of an unclaimed grant. There are about 4 million people, children, who could now get, listen to this, could now get $1,400 a month forever, or at least until they're grown up. And that's what, $15,000 or more a year, $20 a year for 10 years, that's $200,000 they're leaving on the table. These children who don't have parents and living with someone else, that's available. And there's 4 million people that haven't applied for that, okay? Now that to me is a pity. Here's another one I just read, and this is today in the newspaper. Now here's another one I just read today. The hospital workers, okay? You have nurses, the doctors, and things like that. Now, they got a lot of stimulus money, for extra, heroes money and all this kind of stuff. But you know who got screwed on this? Was the people who clean the hospitals. Now, what could be more important, especially in COVID and all this germ stuff that they had to take care of, And so they got no extra pay. They got no pay for being sick or time off or all that kind of stuff. So there's states now that are, finally realizing they screwed up and they didn't take care of these people that were cleaning the hospitals. What could be more important than that? The hospital cleanliness. We learned that a long time ago, like in the 1800s, I think. That's where germs live. And so we have the biggest germ problem in the world. and we're not keeping the hospital clean because we don't have people to work there, and then we're not paying them or if they get sick, they get no time off and all that. Wow. How do you like living in that society? How do you like your neighbor doesn't give a shit about you? That's not too nice. But anyway, these hospital workers. Now here's the interesting part. The hospital workers. Okay, they finally this is in the state, I think Connecticut. Finally, and there's like 95,000 hospital workers. Okay, so the state that said, okay, we're going to give the hospital workers an extra $15,000. I think it's 14,000 or something. Not 14,000, $1,400. So they're going to get that because they were hospital workers and to take care if they lost work because of COVID or any kind of thing that's COVID related and they got screwed, okay? $1,400. Okay, it's been around for about a month, okay? 2 months at the max. Now listen to this. Only, okay, where is that? I got so much paper and not a thought to think. Where paper everywhere, not a thought. Here it is. Okay, listen. Okay, as of August 31st, the Comptroller's Office reported that it awarded okay, of these grants that are going out to people who clean the hospitals, only 1.7% of the money was claimed. 1% of $34 million people applied for. 1%. 1%. Wow. We got a problem in this country. And the problem is, we got lots, you know that. But this kind of problem, we vote for laws that give people money to help through tough times and everything. People don't know it's there. They don't apply. It may be complicated too. There are a lot of other reasons. But if you don't know it's there, I mean, that's the biggest reason. And why don't you know it's there, okay? Because people go to the internet and try to find things, okay? They go to the internet and try to find things, and you go to Google, try to find things, you put in, oh, I need money for something, and you'll never find something like this who's gonna give you out free money because they don't advertise. See, the government doesn't advertise. So that's why you don't find it. So they only give out 1% of the money. 1%. Wow. You know, if there was a sale at Starbucks or you know, Burger King or something like that, man, you would know about it. They'd spend $1 billion trying to get you in there, yeah? But the government doesn't have that kind of money. So that means it's the responsibility of you living in society, in this society, have to find it yourself. And I know you've all taken that how to find a grant class in high school. That you, shit, we don't even teach civics anymore, let alone how to use the government, right? Most people who know to use the government are the rich people who say, oh my God, look at those money that's sitting in Washington. I got to get some of that, you know, and they do. And this is when I started this business. That's who I was helping, only rich people, because they would pay me thousands of dollars to do this, you know. And I said, they don't even need the money. Why is that happening? Because nobody else knows it's there. Nobody else knows the value of it. Number one, I think because all you hear about the government is screwed up, okay? And it's, you know, it's terrible and it makes mistakes. Yes, I'm terrible and make mistakes too, but I advertise, so you only see my good side. But see, in Washington, we have like 6,000 reporters only showing you the bad side, you know, and that's it. So you hear somebody saying it's raining outside, it's raining outside, it's raining outside, and you don't have a window in your office, then you assume it's raining outside, right? So you keep hearing, the government's screwed up, the government's screwed up, the government's terrible, everything's bad. So yeah, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. So you leave it to the rich people. The rich people know better because they've used the hell out of it. Yeah. And the average person, you know, has no idea. It's a little complicated. So, oh yes, I bet it is. And they won't make one or two calls, and they get nothing, right? Because it is a complex system. You have to learn how to use the system to take advantage of it. You just can't. Oh, I'll call the SBA because I need money for my business. Now that's the last place. Maybe 2 years ago when they had all that money were given out, it was the first place. Now it's the last place to get a grant because it's all at the local level, you know. But the average person doesn't know that. You don't study it like I do every day. And that's what I'm trying to do. We have to educate our public. We have stuff in our democracy that's for everybody, but only few people use it, you know. And so that isn't democracy, is it? And like even Donald Trump, you know, I mean, you read his book about his history. He made his first $1 million with a government property in Cincinnati. That's he used government programs that paid rent for his tenants, right? And that's how he made millions and millions and millions. Well, his father was always investigated by the government because he was finagling the books. I wonder where Donald gets that from. But it's all that. The rich people. You look at Federal Express. They started with government money. Microsoft started with government money. Actually, he praises it too. I think he moved to Arizona or something like that and got money there. So that's why I see the government wants you to start a business, wants you to grow a business. I mean, look, we just gave Amazon $1 billion to move to Virginia. Okay, and actually, for the average person, you don't have to be an owner of Amazon to know about that. What Amazon's $1 billion they got, and maybe it's two, I forget, but it's at least $1 billion. What they do is hiring people for Amazon. The average job at Amazon is like $150,000. So they need trained, skilled people. So what the government does is, okay, they take people, hijack them off the street, give them money to train to get a $150,000 job, okay? It's that simple. They want businesses to hire people, they want to grow, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why they help businesses. So if you're a small business, they want to keep you in business, because if you don't, you'll be out of business, and then you'll work on, they have to pay you in other ways, like unemployment. Stuff like that. Healthcare they'll have to pay for because you're using the emergency room and can't afford good health insurance. So it costs a society money, and that's what it is. If it's for the biggest, the Queen has died. Long live the Queen. No, the Queen is dead. Long live the King. Or the King is dead. Long live the Queen. Yeah, I know. I just saw that. I wonder who's next in the line of the Queen. Is it Meghan is going to be the next Queen? Now that'd be cool, wouldn't it? or one of those young people. That'd be a kick in the pants, right? Are there any government loans or grants for backyard gardening? Yes. Hydroponics, yes. Like hydroponics, yes. Now, the best place to start for anything, urban gardening, backyard gardening, anything, is your county cooperative extension service. County Cooperative Extension Service. That's where you want to go. And they'll tell you about the programs. Now, that's not every program, but that's a place to start. Everything I give you, remember, that's not, if they say there's nothing there, that doesn't mean there's nothing there. That just means there's nothing over there. There is now somewhere else you have to check. So if you're not willing to dig, your chances of getting something aren't very high. So that's why you have to dig it. That's why I say you dig it. You have to dig it because it ain't gonna, come out and flop on your table for you. You have to go out and dig it because it's a little complicated out there, but it's not impossible to learn. It's easy. You don't need a degree in government program. I flunked English in college, and I wrote 2 New York Times bestsellers. I told that English teacher when my book made the New York Times bestseller list. That was a sweet day. Yeah. And that's what Let's Go Help is about. Let'sGoHelp.com if you're not a member. What we do is help people, unlimited help for you to apply to every government program that's available, okay? For you to apply for every government program that you're eligible for. That's what we do. Been doing it for 40, 50 years. Staff does it. And what's really neat about Let's Go Help, the members help you. The members who just applied for something and they just got money or whatever, then they tell you how they did it. Now, that's better than me. I just show you where to go. They show you how to go. And what to say, what to do, and things like that. Let's go. Your family's talking to you these days. My family's talking. Some of them. Hey, from the Panhandle of Florida, just stopping to share some love. Well, that's nothing better, and that's what Let's Go Help is. I'm trying to do a place where people help each other. And that's all we're all. If you're mean and call somebody an asshole, you can call me an asshole anytime. I get that a lot. So I don't mind. But you don't say anything disparaging to other members. You don't know them. I don't know them. And they're there to help you, just like I am. And if it doesn't help, fine. I'll give you all your money back. Don't worry. If you feel dissatisfied about anything we do. Because you can't please everybody. I know. I got some ex-wives that justify that. But it's important. It's important that you use as much of you as you can. And to me, where you have so much to give is on your nice side. It's hard to be an idiot. It takes a lot of work. It's easier to be nicer. That doesn't take as much work. So that's what we try to do, is promote that. So people are nicer to each other, help each other through this problem, because nobody has an answer. I mean, you can't take what I say as gospel and this is true. It's true sometimes. And you have to use that true sometimes and to build on it for when it is true for you. And that's what all this is. I mean, I can't guarantee you're going to get any of this money. You may or may not. I could just guarantee these are real programs that are written into law to help solve these problems. Now, whether you do it or not, it's sort of like if you were looking for a job, I say, okay, this company's hiring people. Now, whether they hire you or not, it depends on you and that company, right? So you got to get out there and try and see if that works for you. Otherwise, I can't guarantee you get money. Nobody can. Anybody on the internet who guarantees you're going to get money from the government, get a grant, they're lying. They have to be, because unless it's giving out their money. Well, that's another thing. We give out our money. The profits that we make, and thanks to all of you out there, we turned a profit about a year ago or so. And so what we do with our profits is give it back to members. We're a small group. We got a handful of people, and any profit we make, we give back to members. And what we do now is every month we're up to like $40,000 a month. We give $40,000 a month to members. And all you have to do is write a question on, tell us in a sentence or a few sentences how you would spend $1,000, okay? That's all you have to do. And then that way, we choose them, and we give out about 70 checks a month. And on the 4th, the monthly contest ends on the 4th of every month. So now we're into the October contest, and that ends on the 4th of October. We just finished the 4th of September, and we're still picking the winners on that. So that usually takes about 2 weeks after the 4th. So what is this, the 8th? So we're still counting and reading. We have to read 1,000, 2,000 requests. And that's it. Thanks for the information. My son graduated from college, wants to start a business. Thanks. Well, if anybody wants to start a business, you want to find navigators that know about the process where you live of getting money and help to start a business. And the SBA, if you go to sba.gov and you look for navigators, then you will see a map of the United States. You put in your zip code, and there'll be a half a dozen or a dozen these nonprofit organizations. They get government grants to help you start a business. That's where to start. Don't look for money. Don't say you want money. Say you want help. Because money, it's too complicated. The grant system is a little complicated. Once there, the SBA had a lot of money, so that was easy. But now it's not that way. There still is probably more money than ever before given out, but it's not in one place. It's a little complicated, and you're going to give up before you learn where it is. So that's what you have to do is you get the free help to learn the system for starting a business and all potential possibilities. Then again, one person doesn't know everything. So you got to get 2 or 3 navigators, to make sure you're touching all the bases or whatever. And here's another, besides SBA.gov and put in community navigators, here's another website to go to, a good place to start, and that's Meetup, MEETUP.com. Meetup, MEETUP.com. You go there and you join some local meetups. Meetups are all over the country. They're just clubs of people starting businesses that share information for free. They're not consultants on the internet that want to get money from you. No, you get more money and better. You save more money doing the free stuff. And so if you have free people in your community that doing what you do, want to do, but they're 6 months ahead of you, that's who you want to talk to. You don't want to talk to some consultant or whatever, unless they're free, or unless you have a lot of money. I can't begrudge anybody, doing that, and that's important. So that's how you would do it. That's how you, no matter what age, no matter what income, no matter what, you do that first. When I was helping Fortune 500 companies, I'd go to these government agencies and get all this stuff. I'd charge these people thousands of dollars for stuff I got for free. So you could get it for free too. You just have to know they're there. Rich people are lazy. That's why they'll pay for anything, particularly if it's going to get them money, more money. That's all they're interested in. And if you don't have money, then you're interested in too. But you have to be careful you don't spend money when you don't have money, because that just perpetuates the problem and gets you in worse shape. And what we do is show you where you could get help without spending money. You hear that? Without spending money. It takes a little work on your side. You have to learn the process a little bit, and that's what we do. We have free training courses. We have like 3 a week now, free video live training courses. So you sit there with one of our instructors and all the other people in the group, there's like 100 on these things, and they tell you, they share the information. And the ones tonight, Lammy and Tammy says, she's a member. Man, this lady is gold. She helps so many other members, it's incredible. And so yeah, I mean, she's getting you over there too, because what could be better than to have somebody take you by the hand, even if it's virtual, but it's live. You have other people who are doing it or trying to do it and learn how they did it. Man, and that's $20. Everybody said, let's go, you can't make money charging $20. Man, I make enough money to give $40,000 a month back. We already gave like $300,000, $400,000 back to members, you know. And that's a grant, but you have to be a member to apply for it. And by the way, if you're a member, you have to be up to date too, because a lot of members let their stuff slip or their credit card doesn't work anymore. So to fix your membership, or even if you want to quit, you know, I understand people don't want to marry me forever. You don't need it. But if you go, letsgohelpmember.com. Okay, remember that? If somebody could type that somewhere, letsgohelpmember.com. You could go there if you're a member and edit your credit card or whatever it is, your payment, and keep it up to date. So if you want to apply to the grant, you want to attend the seminars that we have that are all free, you could go to every one. You could go to 1,000 of them if you like, or whatever. It's one price fits all. We're never going to charge you for more. That's why when there's people that pose as me, they use my, you know, symbol or whatever and say they're Let's Go and say, oh, I'll help you, just send me $500 or whatever. Listen, if anybody says they're me and they're charging more than $20, that's not me, okay? So remember that. And anybody who, we don't go and try to find you. We advertise or promote like I'm doing now, but we're never gonna, you know, send you a chat or a phone call and say, hey, I could help you get a grant. No, and there are people who do that. They're just trying to play on your bad times, because we're vulnerable when we're having bad times. And that's when you're vulnerable, you'll grab at any straw just to try to keep alive. And that's what the bad people know. And they'll be able to get your money probably faster than I will, because they do it better. They're sneakier than I am. But it's out there, and it takes work, and even to improve your life, you know, whether it's now, boy, there's so many. Here's another program I just ran into today. Okay, if you want to be okay, here's what they're doing now. This is at local level. So much training money now that you could go and train for a new career for free, and particularly if you don't have a college degree. Most of these training programs are not for college degree people, and to get you the training so you could get like a maybe start up to $50,000, $60,000 and get up to $100,000 without a college degree. There's a lot of jobs, and they're growing jobs now, particularly with the new Biden thing coming in. All that new money is going for that job training. There's now more people working in the renewable energy field than there is in the fossil energy field. So that's going to be a boom. Now with all this, you know, we're going to put up all these electrical plug-ins all over the country now. So we're going to have more electric cars than anything else now. And that's what's important. So here's a typical program. Here's a program in Michigan. Now, you have to check your state to see if there's something like this in your state. There probably is. And it's at the Department of Labor. It's called Michigan Works. Okay? And it's funds. They have grants for on-the-job training. See, on the job. You get a job, you get paid, and you learn a skill and a certificate. Education, supportive services to overcome barriers to attaining healthcare jobs with strong wages and career pathways, okay? They'll pay for tuition, clothing, supplies, mileage, living expenses, daycare expenses, all kinds of stuff. so you to get a better job. And instead of going to college and costing you $100,000, they're paying you to learn this, to get a degree, to get a great job and a career. Here's the ones that you could get in a couple weeks, months, or whatever. Short-term certificate programs they're doing. Certified nursing assistants, licensed practical nurse, registered nurse, medical assistants, sterile processing technician, philanthropist, that's when people draw blood, I think, substance abuse and behavioral disorder counselors. Man, you know that's a growing field. Man, we got so much mental health problems. It's crazy. Well, they are crazy. Bad joke. A medical technician, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so these are career paths that the government is putting money into. Michigan and every other state not only have medical, they have IT career paths like that are training, that are paying for training and living expenses and everything. They even, like Maryland now we'll give you a free car for 2 years because you need a car to get to work. Now these programs take digging. You just go, hey, where are the free cars? It doesn't work that way. You know, where are the girls to date? Well, yeah, maybe it works a little easier that way, but not much. And that's what's out there. But you don't know because they don't have it. These people don't advertise. You have to read the small print somewhere to find it, and they call it something else. It's called Mirror Read. MI Reach. Now, what the hell? You said, oh, this is MI Reach. What the hell is that? I don't know. It sounds so complicated. I don't know what it's doing. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And that's the important thing. U.S. for COVID really helps slash food insecurity. Well, the programs are out there. There's a couple of places that everybody should be aware of to start. And that is 211.org. Findhelp.org, your elected officials, all your elected officials. Just don't go to your congressmen or senators. You start there. My wife was trying to help somebody with food stamps or SNAP payments, and it was all screwed up. She called the senator's office. They called right back, but they really didn't do anything. And then she found out that it was at the county level. The county elected official had oversight of the people giving out the SNAP money. And when they heard that something was bad, they said, we'll get right on it, fix it, that should not happen. See, that's it. See, that's it. You find the person, the bureaucrat that has power over that bureaucrat. You know? And that's how you game the system. If you hire a lawyer, man, the government's gonna outdo that. You know, their lawyers get that all the time and know what to do. And it's going to cost you a lot of money and you probably don't have it. So don't hire lawyers to do it. Find the process in the system that has power over what you're doing. Like you got screwed on the SBA loan and can't get an answer or whatever. Call your two senators and your congressman. They have power to turn that around. Whether it happens or not, who knows? If you hired a lawyer for $400 an hour, whether it happens or not, who knows? You might as well use the free one, and the free one is more powerful than anybody else. You owe the IRS. Well, the IRS has a special program that they pay people to sue them for you. You hear that? They pay lawyers for you to sue them. So you don't have to pay for a lawyer to sue the IRS if you think they're screwing you over. They've already paid lawyers for you to sue them. And if you look at this fine print, that's wonderful. You know why? Because it's not for rich people can't use it. People who don't have a lot of money. If you think the IRS is not fair, then the government has paid someone else to sue the IRS for you. Now, that's a pretty cool democracy, don't you think? Everyone gets an equal chance, even if you're wrong. See, you could be an asshole too, but you need a lawyer to do anything. So, hey, we'll give you a free lawyer to make an ass out of yourself. How's that? Now, what a country, man. Look at people could walk around like this and not be thrown in jail yet. But that's what's cool. I mean, the stuff that is buried in here. I took my kids on vacation twice on government programs. That's right, you hear that? took my kids on vacation twice in Gov't. We went on an archaeological dig up in Alaska. The kids were like 12 years old or something. I just thought they'd be a kick in the ass to spend a couple of weeks in the summer digging up Indian land in Alaska, looking for bones and stuff. Man, what an experience. Now, we had to get there ourselves, but they put us up there and trained us and everything. It's just an incredible experience. And I said, there's only, one place, there's no other place in the world you could, do something like that. You want to go to the moon? Okay, you could pay for Tesla or one of these people to send you up. But NASA still has one, still taking applications for, civilians to go up on shuttles. I'm pretty sure. Maybe they stopped that. I don't keep it up. And it's just too much. You can't complain in this world unless you have something better to do. If you do, more power to you. But there's too much stuff out there. What was it? Oh, another thing. Here's another thing. I haven't looked at it yet. But this was a venture capital. Now, venture capital is going into a lot of places where there's opportunities. And that's why you want to know where venture capital is going, because these are the people who are trying to guess what tomorrow is. And that's what we're all trying to do. So if they're putting money where their mouth is, or I guess that is, venture capital backs childcare. So you have a childcare idea. This is where you get venture capital, to do it. And that's really cool. Venture capital. Now I'm not sure what it does. It hooks up people who want to care for people to people who need care. What the heck is the name of it? Outrage. It's an exciting option for the new pandemic era childcare and almost infuriatingly simple. What if stay-at-home parents watch their children of parents who had to work? Ooh, you hear that? So sounds very interesting. I got to get into this. So sounds like an app. Sounds like maybe it's more like a Airbnb. If you could get paid because you already have an extra room and somebody pays it. So if you have to stay home and take care of your kid, here's an app where somebody else could sell their kid and you take care of one of yours and one of somebody else that you get paid. Now, isn't that great? The group of angel investors gave her $300,000 to start this business, okay? She had the help of 40 to find childcare, linking them up with nearby stay-at-home parents. Ooh, so it's an Airbnb for childcare. So you go on this website and they hook you up with people who are already staying home and taking care of their kid to hook up, you put your kid in at a big discount, right? Than somebody else because they don't have the big overhead. Now, I saw the thing here. Overnight, she stayed at home parents for her toddler twin. She searched for jobs. She turned down a job. She Saturday airplane, kind of matchmaker. She called the service Otter, her mother's favorite animal. So here's the service, OTTER. Take a look at that if you're interested in childcare. Okay. As the changes in Congress and the White House addressing parents' mounting difficulties and affordability, childcare grow increasingly slim. Investors in the industry, parent tech companies with VC funding attracted $1.4 billion in 2021. Okay, so high-tech companies got $1.4 billion in venture capital to work on new ideas for providing childcare. See, that's where you watch that stuff. What's going on, And here, this sounds like an Airbnb for childcare, and that's called Otter, OTTER, right? Horowitz for backing such giants, and these are the same people gave them money who backed Airbnb and Facebook. And that's it. Or even healthcare problems. I was listening to the ex-head of the National Institute of Health for Mental Health, and he said in venture capital money. They're spending $4 billion into apps to help with healthcare, mental problems. Now we have a new 800 number, it's 877 or something like that. I forget what it is. If you need mental health problems, and they'll help you find free help, so you don't have to find a $200 an hour therapist. Use that number to find free help with mental health. And everybody, we all have mental health. It's just the problem is it's just a degree of how much. But he says that last year, the venture capital put in like $4 billion into healthcare apps and ways to solve healthcare problems. And he said his NIH Institute on Mental Health only had like $2 billion. So that's twice as much as they have. Yeah, I mean, this is what's going on. And that's why you're looking for ways, areas of the country that's growing. That's growing. You now know energy is back. Renewable energy sources. That's why you got to go to careeronestop.org and find out what's going on down there. What programs do they have available? Because the new Biden programs are giving them grant money to train you in all these new energy fields. That means it's going to cost you nothing, and also means you probably could make money while you're learning. So you don't have to do that, worry about that. So it's healthcare, energy, construction. We need so many people on construction because our our workforce is getting older, like me, and I can't even work for construction anymore. That's for younger people. So they're dying for that, and they'll train you for free. They'll give you money while you're learning, and you make a great living without a degree. That's the key. Remember, all these programs the government is investing in do not require a degree, and they're great programs. Putting up, those charging stations for all these electric vehicles. Okay, somebody's got to do that. Somebody got billions of dollars to do that. Somebody needs trained people to do that. So that's what the system's about. You want to go down and say, okay, who knows about that? The closest thing you could find locally will be your career one-stop center. And then also go to 211 or Find Help and look for job training programs and just start calling people. The way you really get stuff is by calling people. You call people and say, hey, I have this problem. Can you suggest anybody that can help me solve this? You don't say, hey, do you have a grant? No, you don't do that. You say you have a problem and you're looking for help. Do you have suggestions? Do you have something, or could suggest somebody else? If you call up people looking for a grant, that's just not cool. The process is a little too complicated. Most of these programs now for giving you money for training, not even called grants. So you're going to miss it. And so no, you don't want to do that. But it's understandable that why you would do it. I would do it if I were you. And so you want to just ask for help. After watching several videos, I was able to meet him since I've been clearing all my debt and financially stable. Oh, wonderful. See? And he didn't even have to pay me money, it sounds like. It's somebody who gave me a chat that he watched a couple of my videos and paid off all this debt. Wow, I got to watch those videos again. I don't know what the heck's out there. That's terrific. But it is. And see, nobody's encouraging you to do that. People on the internet are encouraging you to spend money. To them. And I guess I do that too, because I have to stay in business. And the only way I stay in business, I have to charge for something. So that's why we only charge one fee, $20. You'll never be asked again, except for the next month. We'll ask you for another $20. But that's it. And these people out there selling this kind of stuff on hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands. I used to be that. But I don't want to do that anymore. I think there's a way to do it. And I've done it now because of the group. And see, the group is the key to all this, because I see, and I'm just learning this. A year ago, I wouldn't have said this. And I have to plan differently now for this thing growing, because it's growing internally from members, not from me. I'm becoming like, croutons in the salad. Who cares about them? And that's what's cool, because the members now are becoming so more important. And yes, and Tammy's telling you on YouTube, if you're watching me, about the class tonight. We know the class tonight. What time is it tonight? Tammy, is that 8 o'clock? I forget. Oh, the Gopher Cup. Yes, we give out awards too. The people, and oh, we got wonderful stories of people who dig down in them and found that grant. You know, it doesn't come easy. It may, and God bless you if it does. But for most of it, you're going to have to dig deeper, and that's why we have the Government Grant Gopher Award for people who dig deeper to get something. I'm not helpful when they never stop talking. Stop and answer a question. Well, I got, you know, I send 50 questions, and it's really about education. If you want help for free, go to Let's Go. Let's Go Help Free. Why can't I remember? Boy, this brain is like Swiss cheese. But yeah, or Let's Go Help Free.com. Yes, that must be it. Let's Go Help Free.com. Go there. Got lots of free things. Most of the things I talked about are there for free. You could download and get the sources there, and you don't have to give me $20. To get personal help, $20, and you join Let's Go Help.com, and I answer all those on Facebook, and sometimes on Let's Go Help too. We have two platforms. One on Facebook, Let's Go Help, and the one on Let's Go Help 2 is off of Facebook because Facebook gets a little funky. And the robots are not people there. It just gets too precarious to be there. So we're slowly trying to get off of there. And you could ask a question, personal question. You can ask me 100 questions a day. I answer most of them on Facebook. Once in a while I get the other one. But if you belong to one, you get them both for the same price. So if you pay $20 for one, you get the other one. And you could find the link to the other one if you're on Facebook if you're on Facebook, on Let's Go Help on Facebook. There's a link under Guides, Guides. There's a link, it's a backdoor link, because if you go to Facebook, Let's Go Help 2.co, which is the front page, they'll ask you for money to get in. But if you already paid, you don't have to pay, but you have to get the backdoor info to get into the back door and get that, and that's what you get on there. Or if you have trouble with anything, there's two websites you should know, or websites. One is if you're a member and want to be up to date on your membership, so you could apply to the monthly grant. You apply to or sign up for the videos and stuff like that. You go to letsgohelpmember.com. That's where, you know, if you have a bad credit card or it's out of date or things like that, or you want to change your program, you know, you want to go to monthly or something, or 6 months or whatever, you could change that there. You could also there cancel, so we don't charge you anymore because it's a subscription. You'll be charged again. So that's it now. So that's what you want to know is letsgohelpmember.com. And also that we have a new grant that ends October 4th. We're going to give out $40,000 again. And so you want to sign up for that on either site. There should be on the top of the page a place to sign up, okay? Now here's them for help. If you need help, like customer service, which we're not perfect at, but nobody is. It's just a little confused, you know, we're learning our system still. But it's letsgohelp@gmail.com. Okay, letsgohelp@gmail.com. So Magic Mary runs that operation there, which is her. And that's where to have, if you have problems with their membership, if you have problems you can't get on the site, something's wrong up. Because it's a lot of fine print, maybe. We try not to make it that way, but some things are not intuitive for everybody. Maybe it is to somebody, maybe it isn't for any. Like when I read things now, I know some 20-year-old wrote it. And for me being 79, I don't know what the hell he's saying. So that's all. We all have different languages, even though we all speak English, man. It comes out one way, but it comes in another way. But thanks for putting up with me. Hope to see you soon. And ask me questions, please. I'll be there for about 10, 15 more years. We got a new grant. Oh, wonderful. Well, tell us about it. Get on the Let's Go Help and tell us so you can show other people how to do it. I can't apply all the time. And that's why the key to Let's Go Help are the people and the members who are helping each other and showing them how they did it. And that's what Tammy has done for a long time with us. So remember, so I'll see you on Let's Go Help, I hope. Talk to you soon.